In 2006, under the Forum of China-Africa Cooperation and the Belt and Road Initiative, China and the Republic of Congo signed an agreement that would ultimately change not only Congo's landscape, but also the lives of the people. The construction of the number 1 national highway began. It became the largest infrastructure project in the history of China-Congo cooperation.
And this is how China builds roads and bridges in African countries, whilst Europeans and the United States loot the natural resources from Africa and then turn around to teach Africans how human rights work. Hello and welcome again to the Geopolitics podcast. Geopolitical Queen here with today's episode on how China supports African countries to develop as compared to the stories being told about China only being interested in African natural resources. Not so long ago, African countries were being lectured by Western countries about how China would only plunge them into debts and steal their resources. But with time, it has become clear that with China, it is a win-win deal, whilst with the so-called human rights, democracy-loving Western countries, it was a zero-sum game. Take a listen to how China is helping to develop infrastructure in Congo-Brazzaville.
This road, known as the number 1 national highway, is regarded as a gem by the Congolese. The 535-kilometer-long highway starts from the port city Pointe-Noire on the Atlantic coast and links key cities along the way, finally reaching the capital Brazzaville, which is the main economic artery of the country. But it wasn't always the dreamed road that it's known to be. In the 1980s, this was just a dirt road. Dense forests and difficult terrain created obstructions. Commuting between the two major cities became a nightmare, directly affecting businesses. The limited transport capacity restricted the flow of people and goods domestically and between the country and its neighbors. Transport providers such as this bus company struggled to stay afloat.
The road was very bad, especially from Efini to Ngo. It was unusable. People used to spend nights there in Ngo. That's where the road was very, very bad. When it rained, it was very difficult to pass. We had a lot of breakdowns on the way. It was very difficult.
The road was very degraded to such an extent that we could not leave one point to another easily. From here to Oyo, it took us the whole day. During the rainy period,
trading centers have mushroomed
there were
all
even
along
buses
the road.
that got into
Goods
accidents.
now easily move between Brazzaville and Pointe-Noire, including many towns in between.
Business was weak, but since the national road was built, business is growing here. We sell more than before. Goods move faster and we benefit a lot.
For me, I feel proud to have such a gift in Congo that we did not have before, and businesses have opened up. It has also offered employment to many people. More young people got employed on this number 1 national highway. There are more than 700 people who were recruited.
Strict adherence to traffic rules and weight limits is observed to maintain the quality of the road. The maximum tonnage allowed on this highway is 50 tons.
Based on this report, this number 1 national highway has facilitated traffic and reduced commuting time between Brazzaville and Pointe-Noire from at least 7 days to 8 hours. The traffic volume has increased from around 160 vehicles per day to more than 4,000 a day. The country's imports and exports of important minerals and resources happens through this highway to Pointe-Noire. The construction of the number 1 national highway has not only improved transportation, but it has also boosted the local economy. The highway is also an important part of the Trans-African Highway Network, a continental road infrastructure project that aims to connect Africa's major cities and economic centers. So what do you think? Is China really stealing African resources and plunging African countries into debts, or it is rather the country that is helping in the development of infrastructure in African countries? Well, kindly leave your comments in the comment section below, and thanks for tuning in. I will be back with the next broadcast. Good day.